In 1959, Michael's Hair, Body and Mind was founded, marking the beginning of a journey that would span over 65 years, and still going. A few years after its inception, Lena took over from her cousin Michael, propelling the salon into a cornerstone of Clarkson Village. Under her leadership, Michael's evolved into more than just a salon. It became a full-service day and medi-spa and a traditional Chinese medical center, deeply embedded in the community. Lena's commitment to education, quality, and beauty has seen the salon grow a talented team of over 30 staff members, dedicated to maintaining high standards in a comfortable and professional environment. Education is a top priority, with the team regularly updating their skills to stay at the forefront of fashion, beauty, wellness, and technology. Moreover, Lena's dedication extends beyond its doors, with a strong involvement in community events and a commitment to environmental sustainability as part of Green Circle Salon. Under her guidance, what was once a small salon blossomed into a cornerstone of Clarkson Village, symbolizing community, resilience, and the enduring power of visionary leadership. In a world where 96% of businesses falter before their 10th anniversary, Lena's salon stands as a monumental exception, a testament to her indomitable spirit and business acumen. Her story is one of perseverance, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Through her leadership, the salon has not only weathered the storms of economic changes and industry challenges. For entrepreneurs watching, Lena's journey offers invaluable insights into the essence of successful business stewardship. Watch her interview to discover the strategies, mindset, and values that have propelled her business beyond the 65-year mark, making it a legendary fixture in Clarkson Village and an enduring symbol of entrepreneurial excellence.
If you want to be the top, you want to be the best, find in Europe, if you travel through the world, everybody does that. You have to add pieces to that picture to make it long term and enjoying it. You know, people there, if you're kind to the clients, we do what it's right, and if it is something off, we fix it. It's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't happen because we think before we do it. You either do it right or don't do it.
So Lena, thank you so much for meeting me today. I actually met you 8 years ago.
It was 8 years ago?
It was 8 years ago, yeah. So I opened a barbershop across the street. And at the time, I was meeting owners in the Clarkson Village because I wanted to introduce myself, you know, establish good relationships. And I met you, I came here, and I remember one thing with you is that you definitely acted like a mentor to me, and you were so successful and you were so willing to help. And it's been 8 years and I still am so grateful because the things that you taught me actually helped me to get further with like my barbershop, and even like me being here, just understanding so many things about the business. And I'm super grateful for that. And that's why I wanted to really sit down and talk to you, because you have been running a show here for over 55 years when most businesses fail within the first year. And so you have so much wisdom in your head, and I feel like I have so many questions for you because I find that so many things that you know will be so valuable for other people to know. Firstly, how did you get started with the salon? How did you get started? How did you get into hair 55 years ago?
When I grew up in Italy, and when I came to Canada, I went to work with my aunt. The third day I got in Canada she worked in a plastic factory, and I worked there for 8 months because I had to get some money to support myself and also to go to school at night, English school, and stuff like that. So that was probably a year I worked with completed, and then I quit from there. So I went to my brother because it was with plastic plates, and you have to file them and stuff like that. It was fun. It was good but I didn't want to do that. So finally, I went to the school, nice school for hairdressing, and I was doing that. And then my brother had a salon in Welland, and he was there for 4 or 5 years already, so he knew what runs company, the business and stuff. So that was so I learned the craft of hairdressing. And the funny part was like the first night I went to the school for hairdressing, it was an Hungarian lady. She was teaching me how to do hair, but she couldn't speak English or Italian. So we said, "You watch me." And to do this hairdo and create this, and I done it just like she made it. And I says, "Oh, you just copy 100% what I just done." So that was kind of interesting. It was kind of fun. We laughed about that. So that was from there on. So I just started going to school and then training, shampooing, and then assistant. And whenever was anything to do, I would be there available to take over and stuff. So, and a few years later, a year or so, already figured I could do this. So it was, it had a good support in different places, and people that were very nice, and we worked as a team, as a family. And if it's somebody's not well, the other one gives, take over. It was easy, That was the first year or two, And after that, it just going to the classes and training. The company, those days, Sebastian used to be very creating a lot of vision of amazing stylists and stuff. And, so there was the different haircuts, different colors, healthy shine for the hair, all kinds of different things. So it was fun to do it because it's not hard work, So that's from there on. I just kept going, and we had a couple of times some people they were not quite connected. So either be here and do what we're gonna do, or find your own place. And some of them did their own place. It lasted like 6 months, and then they fell apart somewhere. But that's life,
Yeah.
And I got other people, so it was pretty easy, and not been, it's not been never. We've done all kinds of get together at night, and like in the weekends, we tried to teach each other, different things. I work with somebody that said, "I can do this." Well, let's do it together, So I coach a lot of people. Mm-hmm. It was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Initially, your cousin Michael started the salon in 1959. 1959, and then you joined him in 1966. You trained under him, and then eventually you took over the ownership and practice, and here we are 55 years later. Can you tell me, just what is it like running one business for 55 years? That's incredible, by the way. It's incredible.
It's easy if you love what you do. That's if you feel bored, like some of them, I had some stylists like, "I can't do this," or whatever, or they want to do something which it doesn't work, for example, stuff like that. I would have a patient enough to explain, and what is important. The client is the first one. It doesn't matter what you do, you respect the people that come in, because if you don't come in, you have no job. Pretty easy. It wasn't that difficult for me to say, "So you want to do this, you have to do this." There's steps to follow, get there. We go to seminars, you go there, there's teachers, they teach us. So we went to California, every 3 months we'll be somewhere in the country, and besides Toronto, So it was fun. It wasn't that difficult. Mm-hmm. So people, they loved the ones that want to stay with me, they're great. I don't have to deal with it because they know what to do. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you get too many people, it becomes a little more complicated because they have personalities and whatever. But you know what? If you're busy, you don't need to talk.
Yeah.
Just do your job.
Yeah. And so over the last 55 years, what are the most challenging times that you had to overcome?
I always wanted to, before it was one salon, one area, one building. And then, there was the revolution of changes. It was coming bigger, and and extra design, different things, whatever. So I opened the other salon. So we had two spaces, like 2,000 square feet versus 1,000 square feet.
All in one building over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So that was, and that was more people. So that the challenge that was there was it was fine, but you had to think a little harder to kind of make sure everybody's in the same road, kind of stuff, the same. But it was okay. It lasted about 10 years, and after that, like I figured, well, I think it's better if we shrink it and we get the best ones, and they're happy, and nobody complains, and it makes their life easier. You know, so 10, 12 years we've done that, and then I closed it again, and then we opened it again a few more years later. We reopened again because then I had a manager because I was getting tired of managing all 30 people.
I can imagine 30 people.
And I had the manager to kind of help too. But she was okay, but a little strong personality. And it was a little kind of complex a little bit. So, but it worked fine. It's still okay. So finally COVID came, and that's like, okay, shut down for 9 months. We completely closed. I used to do the colors formulas to take them at the step and pick it up and take it home and put it on themselves. So that changed a completely different story, you know. But there is a way how you can still be alive and not just like a lot of people give up. So okay, well, now what are we gonna do? You know, like a lot of. But okay, if the clients want a color, I mix the color. They can pick it up, put it on, even if they put it. You know, I can do it because you know it can come in the salon. But they will come, I would do like 10, 15 a day. They come to pick up the formulas that they go home. And,
wow. So
and I made it like a couple of thousand, 3,000 or whatever, but whatever.
But that's still pretty innovative. So I think one of the greatest strengths that you have is the ability to adapt. And I personally don't know any salon that put color together for their clients and gave it to them and told them how to do it at home. That's actually incredible.
Well, I had a poster made up for, you know, when to do it. So the first few times the people that, I don't know, I left the window black. Like, no. It's going to be on 2 hours since you pick it up, at least, you know, so put it on your head. But that was kind of interesting. It was kind of cute. But at least, like some of them, they won't go to the drugstore. And then, you know, the picture in the drugstore, it's never the color. It's in the bottle. So it says, if you want to do that, then they can spend the double, triple time to fix your hair. So do not do that. Let's do this. You know. So kind of, and they were happy. You know, they got the husband to put it on, or the sister, the brother-in-law, whatever it was to paint in their heads. You know, hey, it worked.
So yeah, so definitely like one of the reasons why, you know, you were successful for over 55 years is because you were always adapting, right? Like you were always changing. You're never like stagnant, and if it doesn't work, you close down. You kind of change things. That's pretty cool. How do you know what to do? Because most business owners or people, it's like something like the pandemic happened and they just shut down and they don't do anything, and then they close down, right? Like how do you come up with these things?
I felt bad for the clients, and you know, I felt like abandoning the clients because now if I don't do it, someone else is gonna do it, or the drugstore is gonna do it. But then it's a disaster because it's impossible to fix it most of the times. So I explained, I told them we could do this because your formula, it's in the computer. I know what your formula is, I'll mix them and it's yours. It's not like a box from the drugstore. So that kind of saved us the work to do, and also they were happy because they got the color. It was used before pandemic.
And so you've hired a lot of people. During an interview, you probably know right away whether you're going to hire someone or not.
Yes.
Right? What are some of the traits that you look for when you think like they're a good candidate, you want them on your team?
Well, first you ask them, what's your passion? What is why you want to do this, for example. If they cannot answer that, that's goodbye.
Yeah.
Like you can explain, but it really there has to be have that kind of passion that wanted to do things, And most of them they were okay. Some of them, I don't think I could do that. It's okay, Some people they cannot really see the picture, so you cannot make it up. So it's I had some of them there. They wonder what they're gonna do. Like they get it, and then they'll come up and say, "Oh, you were telling me about how we're gonna do this." So that kind of give them I can see their life. It's coming back, and they understand what to do. If they don't, say, "I'm sorry. You know what? After a while, 2-3 months, I think you find something else better." I would say to them, not because they're not bad, not good, but it's another passion. So what's use fighting with it,
Yeah. So after like a couple of months, you could see whether
Yeah.
someone's passionate or not. And what's your process like to let someone go? Like, how do you let them go? Because it sounds like you do it so gently and gracefully.
Well, I say, okay, if you really love this, you have to do this, this, and this. If you cannot do this, what are we gonna do?
So you ask them, like, what do you think we should do?
What do you think you're gonna do? If you can't do what I ask you to do, it's not. What do you tell me what you could do?
Yeah.
And that kind of makes it like, oh, probably I should find another job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it once in a while you get somebody. And usually some of them are kind of afraid or they're not sure, and they'll say, "Come over, you watch me." Also, what I just finished saying, I coach them through it. Then either they get it or they don't. But if they don't do what I ask them to do, I says, "You know what? It doesn't work. I know you can find something else." So it doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
Very few, but once in a while you get somebody low. If some of them are they were a little more about. They think they could do something, but then I will go over and check and see, But most of the times they know, and they say, "Well, I think I should find another place." So it's okay.
End up on good terms
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
don't like to fire people just because,
Yeah.
I've never done it because it's not. Then they're gonna talk about somebody else. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah. And so you have a lot of staff members. Like I say a lot because it's almost unheard of for staff members to stay for 10, 15 years. And you have quite a few of people that stay with you for 10, 20 years. What is your
40.
secret?
You had a Franco, he was 40 years.
Wow. Okay. What do you do to keep people happy?
First of all, you have to respect, and they can respect me, vice versa, both. But also if they love what they do, it's natural. They do it because they're working with the client. I'm not there anymore, but they take over with individual clients, So it's not that complicated. If a client one of the staff does a great job, they love to go back. It's not like they move into sometime now, like they have great clients that Anita loves, the clients loves Anita. The other one loves, they all have their own staff members according if it's a new client, I usually always do it myself first because that's the first thing, and I can understand what there is. So then, if in case I'm not here, so and so could do similar. So I kind of coach them through the system, and it's pretty easy.
It's easy for you. A lot of people are struggling. There's respect, and they're busy because they're passionate and they just love what they do. Any other tips for, let's say, salon owners that are struggling to find and retain good, talented people?
Again, it's basically you have to kind of encourage, and you have to kind of support them, but also they have to be respected from both ways. So if somebody gets in the way and it really doesn't listen or stuff like that, and says, "You know what, let's change this picture, like it's, if you don't really, I don't know, I never really had a hard time for that, because explaining what it is, and if I expected them to do the best job as possible to everybody. And if they don't, they have to go to learn. And if they, once they go to a class, it'd be amazing when they come back. There's not 20 people in there with the coach from Europe, from England, from Germany, from France. I've been there for all of them, So you come back with even if it's the same, but it's not the same. So you always have an angle of something what is going to be sustainable, more, not just like it was a period for the time it used to be crazy colors everywhere, but that's only short terms. So like let's do it, but hold off. Don't make everybody the same, because it's not right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was, but I don't know. I never really I had a good staff, good people. If they have a problem, they usually come to me and say, okay, what happened to this? And I explain whatever, even simple. It could be simple, it can be complicated, but I don't find it was that difficult. Because if they had to give, I always love to say, okay, what you would do? Show me what you would do before even I guess I told them what to do. Okay, so I find that kind of makes them think. Like, so if you can do this haircut and you have no idea, where do you start from? From the bangs or from the forehead? Or how are you going to put this together? So if you don't understand that, it's not your position to do this work. If you don't see the whole picture, it's not easy. Again, so, but it was hardly ever, because we've done some crazy stuff with the kids, with the Sue, Kara. We spend hours and nights until 3 o'clock in the morning to create these hair pieces, and we done a show with like crazy the ancient. We done a whole presentation like for 2 days, and we not even slept for 3 days. Doing those crazy stuff with the hair fake, and it was fun.
Yeah.
So. And from that, they learn to do other stuff. So because they have opened up more cells, brain.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed that you guys do regular education for your staff members.
Yeah.
I think I've read it was like every single week, or at least like on consistent basis.
3 to 4 times a year, every 3 months. We usually there's the suppliers that have set up. Every 3 months we do this. Then in 3 months we do another technique or whatever. So 3-4 months a year we'll do it. Then there's other little things in between when we do something here and something that looks really cool. We get them together. Who wants to know this? So I'm not gonna say you're gonna do this. Who wants to know this? How to do this? And I find they get it, because now like, oh, if she could do it, I could do it. Kind of stuff, So it's not, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do it. I used sometimes when it really gets making me a little kind of, I said, it's like a four doors.
Yeah.
2 doors in this one and 2 doors in the other one. Who wants to run out? Then he'll come, like, what are you gonna do? It's people.
I actually got my hair done here, and I got a tour when I came here a few years ago at first. And one thing I've noticed is how incredible the customer experiences, not even customer service, which is like being polite on the phone and saying thank you, but the whole experience. Because when I got here, first of all, I got greeted by guest services, and then they took me on a tour, and you have like 3 floors, and every room was like, there was like a manicure room, a massage room, there was scalp analysis. That was incredible. I was like, whoa, like I can see what my scalp looks like. And then I got advice on what products to use if I have dry scalp. And then I got served with a coffee, a little biscuit. This was years ago, and I still remember how incredible my experience was. Okay, where did you learn how to create this whole vibe and experience? And just like being a client coming in, I could see why you've lasted for so long, because as a client, I was like blown away with like attention to detail.
I grew up in Italy, but I wasn't really, But I find in Europe, if you travel through the world, that's everybody does that. They always, if you want to be the top, you want to be the best, you have to add pieces to that picture to make it really sustainable and long terms and enjoying it. With I don't know how to explain, but people there, if you're kind to the clients, they love. We do what it's right, and if it is something off, we fix it. It's not the end of the world, but it doesn't happen because we think before we do it. So I've trained that system, because you either do it right or don't do it. That's always been my philosophy. If you can really see that picture. Some people, they haven't got the connection of. I mean, when we done this show with the Kiara Sue and I, for a week we didn't sleep, because creative stuff, and Sue and Kiara says, "Lena, we cannot do this." I says, "Yes, you can. We're gonna do this, this, and this." So we did it, and after the result, we won the Golden Curl. They were like on top of the world.
That's incredible.
So, I mean, you learn from doing different things. It's not like the same client every day or every month or every whatever. But it's be kind and be support. The clients is something, it's emergency. You have to take care of it. You don't say, "Oh, I can't do that." I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. In Europe, I find in any country, high-level hairdressing, they're super, and they're there and they support the whole picture. So I learned that. I like that. I don't know how to really discover. Try to. I just think, okay, if this does this, how we can do that? So it's easy.
Yeah, you make everything sound so easy, but it's not for so many people. And I think like it's so good that you're simplifying it and actually like saying like, hey, it's easy, you just do this, because a lot of people overthink things, right? And so usually whenever you hire someone, what's your process for like onboarding, training? How long do you spend training someone to the level of your standard?
From 3 to 6 months.
Whoa, that's a long time.
Yeah, but sometimes they have to learn from beginning. They have to learn how to wash the hair properly. And if you don't wash properly, you keep doing it over and over until you get it right.
And that before they're allowed to go to
any other stuff.
Wow.
You just one at a time. You just cannot throw all at once, because then they don't even know what it was first, second, and third. So I always believe that's how you do this system. That's how you wash the hair. This client, for all of the same, because massage. I mean, the clients love the massage because I train them how to do scalp massage for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes to relax them. But if somebody is in a hurry, then they feel, how come I didn't get the treatment? So if a client says wants that, like we have a meeting and we talk about it.
Yeah, that's funny. We get the same thing because Our barbers, they'll do hot towel, right? Complimentary. And then if they're running behind, sometimes they will skip on the hot towel.
And then the clients forget, they know, they
Oh, yeah. Oh,
they
they get upset.
Yeah.
Like I will get emails, right? Like the next time they will mention it. Sometimes they'll mention it in reviews, like I didn't get a hot towel this time, right? So I obviously have to tell everyone, like, hey guys, we can't like skip corners. It's a big deal.
You do or you don't. Now, if the
Yeah.
client says, no, it's okay, I'm really in a hurry, it's okay. But they say it, not us.
Yes.
Yeah, and for example, today, it was just hilarious. But it was one of the client, Salon client, she sued us her color most of the times, but she came over, we were busy and there was people everywhere, and somehow says, okay, I can't do the color I was supposed to do it, but Nicole can do it. And she says, why? Nicole's gonna do like the junior. She said, so I didn't really helped to kind of explain the whole thing because there were people everywhere. So, and then today she comes back, Lena, I'm still kind of upset about this. Like, why? What happened? So she explained, and then I says, okay, sorry, but I know she knew, but it's my fault, and I apologize. I didn't explain it to you 100%. So and she was happy and everything. So.
Yeah.
But sometimes it happens, little silly stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it was kind of fun. It's just, yeah, and it's not that complicated. It's just matter once they know what to do, they're pretty good. They're very good. They take care of the clients. That's our business.
And so one of the main reasons why businesses go out of business is because they don't know how to manage their money. They don't know how to budget. Can you tell, how do you budget? How do you do finances? How do you like just take care of money situation? Because a lot of salon owners don't know how to do that.
You have to have a clients to have support. And if you don't take your clients seriously, they're not going to come back. You're not going to have enough money. So I don't get that picture. You have to do always what's the best for the clients and for ourselves, and coach them why we do this, and this, because then they remember. And I find you have to have that to have the backup, the money, because yes, I agree. If you don't have the money, then you try to buy some kind of concussion, whatever, different things. But that's not making clients respect. You know, they have to take clients 100% of sustainable, like whatever. You have to be there. You have to be to understand what their concern. If it's a funeral, why we need to leave this. We have to move. We have to do it fast because there is this is happening. So it's not like we just thought so we can do it. You know, we have to do it, and it has to be done now, whatever it is. So the clients will remember that. For 50 years later, they say, "Oh, I remember that." You know?
Yeah.
So you have to have the clients to respect us, and we're gonna respect them. Both. But I find it's. You need the money, yes, and you have to budget, yes. I don't know. I put so much for this, so much for this, so much. I separate or whatever. If it's $10,000, what's most important? What is we need to do to grow more? And I always had refunds somewhere, like put them away beside not just not pay the suppliers on this and that. I've never done it because it's not fair. And if you don't pay the supplier, you're not going to get your stuff. So then what do you do then?
Well, first of all, take care of the clients to make sure that they're happy, and then obviously you get sales, and then you budget things out. So you have like a certain amount, and now you distribute and think about, okay, what's the most important thing that we need, and then
we work with that, and then we add something else later, and as it goes on for whatever. So always you have to think it's a business. It's not just it's a program.
You were so generous to me 8 years ago, because when I came to you and I asked you for advice, I think it was like something about financing and budgeting, because I wasn't sure how to do it properly as a barbershop. And so I came to you, and then you were so kind to let me speak to one of your staff members who took care of like bookkeeping. And then at the time, I thought I was doing really well as a barbershop. I was showing him my bank statements, and I'm like, oh, you know, my barbershop makes like $30,000 a month. And I'm like thinking like I'm impressing him. And then he's like, oh, Lena spends $20,000 on coffee. Like, this is not a thing. And I was so humbled. I'm like, no, okay, I need to do better, you know? So I think that like you taking care of the clients and always talking about the experience and talking about
because
the
that's
clients.
why we have a coffee, we have donuts, we have this, we have a biscotti. But I get a point like sometimes we spend $20,000 a month on the coffee and the donuts. So
that's my like barbershop income a month at the time. I remember
we started to kind of come down a little bit, but also clients are happy. They usually give amazing tips to the staff, and you know, and they're happy coming in. Like not before, after COVID, we were just like, do we have to do the coffee again? You know.
You have to, because I enjoyed it when I have it, and I still remember the biscotti on the side.
I know. So when after the COVID, like we talked, I says, you know what, we need a coffee machine. I don't care what it's gonna cost. We'll make it up somewhere. We'll you know. So Rocket says, Lena, stop with this coffee. It's extra money which you don't have, or whatever. I says, no, but. So you know, it's okay. I'm monitor. You know, I kind of control it more or less, and but it's clients love it, and they're happy, and they're very they're there more than, you know, like it's not like I'll come to 3 months from now. No, it's every 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. You know, so you know what you have to do stuff like that. That's what.
What's your strategy to get new clients and to retain? How do you keep them? So coffee is one of them, customer experience, but like what else do you do to attract new clients, and how do you get them to come back to you for so long?
Usually clients, when they come in, love to see you again. We'll talk about it. We have a list of people, new clients, so we call them if in case they don't come up right away, or they can't, or whatever, if they cancel. But most of when they're in salon, clients is, I've never seen this busy, I've never seen this, and they're, I don't know, they tell other clients that they're friends. That says, if sometimes, well, today is not so busy. Do you have friends? Do you have a let her come in? Walk out free.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I've done it a few times. Not to win.
Yeah.
You know? But once you do that, then they tell the rest of the world, I find. Mm-hmm. So it's not complicated. Mm-hmm. But you have to respect them, and you have to do the right, and they're gonna be happy, living happy, not just a half happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find. But that's part of, I don't know, I just...
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just overall customer experience, I definitely see that. And do you do any other marketing? Like, do you do ads, promotions?
We do like company. We work with some people from shows and different things. Like I usually always be stuck in there, so that way when they want some help for the promotion or the hair or doing something different. We do for weddings, we always put a promotion for what kind of hair come in, let's see what are we gonna do, and what's your vision, what are we gonna, so we always promote it, how to get them in to see what their vision is, and how it can be adjusted or better, or if sometimes they think they see a picture, but they don't, it's not, their hair's not gonna do that. So what that's too late. Then you try to, but if you come in first, we'll work on see what's your picture is, and then we can modify to change according to your face, your clothing, we do that. Because it depends on the dress they wear. Some people look good, some people not so good.
Yeah.
So, and then if you know, especially updos, I do more because the young ones are right, you know. But it's not that difficult. But it's just you have to get a vision and see what it looks good, not just do this, you know. So they usually, we never really.
So for someone who is looking to open a salon, what advice would you give them?
It's from beginning, from a start, from scratch. You know, it isn't. It sounds complicated, but it's also the passion of the person that's going to be there, or who's going to create this. So you have to research. You have to see what people want. What this, you know, it's you can just. I see sometimes drive places salon, and there's somebody sits on the chair in the middle of the salon and sit there like that doesn't help bringing people in. You find your cousin, you find your mother, you find somebody, put them in a chair, sitting there, let them do something, make it look busy, bring people in for 2 weeks, like free haircut, you know. There's so many stuff you could do, and then they all talk to their friends, you know, their neighbors, I don't know. It's when I'm with Zia, so come over. I'll cut your hair. See what I would do. You know, like you have to keep the chair busy, and also you have the people that are going to talk about your salon and why I got there and done this. I received this, or we do like a gift cards sometime for the juniors to send them. So come in, you can have a blow dry, not a cut, but just shampoo and blow dry. So that they're gonna stand around and talk to each other. Now you do a blow dry and you learn, and also clients feels like, oh, I got a free blow dry. So you have to put it out there before you start to getting it back. You know, so that's the way I believe.
Yeah, that's so true, because when I first started the barbershop, like we were empty. We didn't have clients, and so what I did was I created an event for a barbecue and free haircuts all day. And so we started promoting free haircuts, and that was the first time ever where we actually had people just like one after the other. It was so busy, and we were able to create content and then promote it on social media. And so we created the hype. Even though we lost money that day, we created good marketing, and then those a bunch of those people started coming to us as regular clients, referring friends. So you have to do what you have to do to
you
really.
cannot just sit in a chair and waiting until somebody come in.
Yes.
You gotta be out there, and you have to bring them in yourself, and also bring, like, even like say cousins, family, a stranger. I mean, if somebody you want a haircut, and like in the summer when this is. I'd done a haircut on the street, you know, like just stand there, and that was like 3 years ago, whatever, 4 or 5 years ago. I used a chair and a cut hair on the street. It's not like 50 years ago. It was 5 years ago, and you know how many clients we got in? A lot, because oh my God, you do this, so what do you do? And then we'll talk about it. We'll give them a $20 voucher or $50 voucher, you know, like just come in, and it's free, but it's, you know, it's from us. It works, and if you stand around and do nothing, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But if you invest yourself, even if not get paid, that comes back.
What advice would you give your younger self 55 years ago before beginning this journey, and now you look backwards? Like, what would you tell yourself back then?
I loved what I was doing. I always loved the vision of, I had this picture and I had to learn, and I had the vision, but also I need support from other people. But then I see what I work with some hairstylists, which kind of crazy hair, because it was nothing really, but you learn you have to have what the client love, not just what we think we love. The client, you know, like what's their vision for them to say, well, I love this. But if they say you do just because you want to practice and do nothing, or you no connection, they're not gonna say yes or no. You know, so You just say, what do you think? What if I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess. But it's basically we have to always include them first before us.
Yes.
And then we connect with the answer. At the
Yeah, so always listen to what the client wants. Yeah. And then would you do anything different in the last 55 years?
I now do with my eyes closed. I can cut it. I've done it.
Yeah.
The clients they're usually joking around. I know exactly how far I go with the fingers. I can cut it. Just joking around. But, yeah, and you have to kind of have fun. You have to have just, I don't know, not just so stress or whatever, because people feel that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So I don't know. It's not that complicated, but yes, it is when you lack other connection to.
Anything else you want to share with us that you think someone who's about to open a salon or a barbershop would find valuable to know before they begin this journey?
I think it will be helpful because my cousin, he said, okay, Mom, watch me, come here, stand over here beside me when, cutting short hair with the little pink girls and all that stuff. I would stand there and watch every move. So I learned once or twice. I knew exactly what he was doing, and I would follow the next client down the. So it's a matter of wanting to get involved and really do it, not just pretend. You think you're thinking, but you don't know what to do. That's not the business you want to be in, personally. Definitely.
And so what's next for you? Like, do you have any plans? Like, what are you going to do for the next 5-10 years?
Retiring.
Yeah. What are you going to do with the business?
I can coach other people to do something. I don't know. That's, yeah. I like to share information with people, but I don't want to work 6 days a week, 5 days, which I did.
Yeah.
So not 2.5 days a week, it's plenty.
How do you divide your time? Because you have a business to run, you have customers that talk to you all the time, you have so many staff members to look over, education, just so many things. Can you break down what % of your time do you spend on different tasks?
I make it simple and I make it clear the first time or second or whatever it is, but they're pretty amazing staff what I have, and they know. Sometime once in a while they'll come and say, Lena, what do you think of this? What is that? We'll explain, and this is all. Oh, okay, I can do it. An example, but they all know what they're doing. The young ones are learning. They take more time, so I coach them. There's different steps to follow through, and I tell them once or twice, and then they follow through. So it's a matter of I never really get mad at them, or I don't say oh, you done wrong this, that's it's just negativity. So I like when explain why you do this way. Well, I wasn't sure. Well, if you're not sure, why don't you ask someone else who knows that? So you can learn from that. You don't have to discover yourself if you don't know.
Yeah.
You never find out.
Yeah. No need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't. No, they're very good. They can manage themselves. When I'm not here, if they don't, the clients tell me. So
you spend a lot of your time training, and then sometimes you do hair yourself because you have regular clients, right? And then what % of your time do you spend on growing the business, putting in new services, any other things that you spend your time on?
The receptionist we had before through the system, they say, oh, I want this, and this written, program, make it a brochure, make it this, and they will do it, and it was done, and it's taken care of it. It doesn't take a lot of time.
Okay, so you delegate.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that makes a life easier.
Yeah.
And then they learn from what they read also, because if you don't do it, they're never going to remember.
And one last question, last one. So a lot of people that do hair, they have like back problems, shoulder problems. What have you done over the years to kind of like avoid, you know, like the labor, or what have you done with your body to upkeep?
I believe, like, I know exactly because I have a lot of friends that like, I have a backache and I have this. It's how you stand and how you basically use your body.
Oh,
and
it's your
people-
posture.
Posture. It's not like I see sometime and I usually come over, says, what are you doing? Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
your body has to be straight. It's gonna be, you get your knees moving, you
Yeah.
use the hips, you use the shoulder out.
Yeah, yeah.
You do not crawl like this because that's when you get tired. So it's physically do the right thing for your body.
Okay, all about posture. Because I thought you got like physio or massages, chiro.
Yeah, I usually do that too, but I do, you know, yeah. But it's a daily. Like when they stand up behind the chair, when I see they're like this, twisted, that's just
proper form
not proper
then
form of
is the key.
standing because the body gives up faster.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm 77 years old, 80 almost, so.
You look great.
My body is still good.
Exactly. That's amazing.
Because it's how you use it. You don't just abuse it.
Yeah,
That's what once in a while I go like, really? What are you doing? You know?
I love
because
it.
they you know, I have some guys who are like, oh, I can't do this anymore. My shoulder hurts. Like 50, not even 10 gram of the metal. What is the word? Like, it's how you use your muscles. You create. You open up your shoulder. You know, like you just don't crunch.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I need to come back and see the proper form. Lena, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you. Thank you for all the wisdom and hospitality over the years.